Well, it seems like it happens year after year around my house. In fact, it's probably a tradition, or it's some part of the tradition, but maybe you've noticed it in your life as well. Maybe it was in the past, or maybe it's happening right now, possibly even this next week. But it's one of those traditions that kind of starts out with a few kind of key ingredients, and one of those is like my ladder. And another one is boxes stacked high and packed into my garage so that I've got to scrounge around to find all of the boxes that really need to be brought out. And the tradition seems to be kind of shuffling through everything to find exactly what you want to put out for the Christmas season in terms of decorating your house. And that tradition is one that just sometimes is exasperating because we can't always find everything that we want. We can't find the box with the special ornaments that go on the tree every year. Or we can't find the exact extension cords that actually fit into each other, so we have ones that don't fit. Or maybe it's going through all those old extension lights that we have, Christmas lights, where half of them don't work or they've fallen apart and we have to run to the store all the time. But the tradition is, for me, oftentimes it's like having to rummage through and find all of the things that make for really the tradition that sweeps through my life again and reminds me of what Christmas is about. Not just those traditions, though, because when it's all said and done, when things get put kind of together the way you want it to be, there's sort of a contentment there, isn't there? When you look and you're able to look around and you see that the candles that are special to Christmas are put out where they go. Or there's that red tablecloth that now sits on the table with the freshly cut holly branches that decorate it. Or whatever it is for you, whether it's putting up the tree or a special wreath that comes out or that reminds you. But all of those things are reminders, and they're good reminders. The tradition is helpful because it sets kind of a solid place in our life. It reminds us that these things belong. But more than that, there is something about the season when we look at it closely that is more than just the decorations, as important as those things may be. But the important pieces are really to be reminded that at this time there's always things that are new, that are fresh. When Jesus came into the world, he came not as a tradition, he really came fresh and new to complete something that was called for in the past. And that is a wonderful thing to know, that there are people now that haven't discovered the real meaning of Christmas. They haven't discovered or even begun the traditions in their life of walking with God. And yet we who have discovered that have that. And yet it's not for us to hold on to, but it is a part of the gift that God gives us. It is a part of our expression of God's expression. That God came near to us, that God came to earth. And that's what Christmas is about. Christmas is about the infant child, the baby that comes. Because without him, there is no Christmas. Without him, there is no living of real life with God. And so many people need that life this Christmas time. And maybe you felt a little bit outside of things. Maybe you've felt that just disjointedness, or maybe you felt like your life was sort of hidden away in some box somewhere and people are scrambling to get connected to you, or you're scrambling to get connected to them this season. But for whatever, we need to be reminded in our heart and in our life that we are strong and secure in the tradition of knowing with confidence that when we have Christ in our life, there is hope. There is peace, there is joy, and there is the love of God. And people around us need to see that in us. I hope that this Christmas season, this Advent season, as we look at what it meant for God to come to earth, that as we look at this Christmas season and we discover those things, that yes, some of those will be reminders to set in our heart, but also there'll be a freshness there of some new ways of seeing God at work in our life, and that we'll be able to share some of those insights, some of those feelings with our family, our friends, and those people that live near us. So God bless you this Christmas season. I'm sure we'll be talking again. But my hope is that as we launch into this Advent time, you will have some of those traditions alive in your life, but you'll also have the freshness of God breathing into your life even today. Hey, God bless you. Have a great and wonderful Christmas time.